What's up, everybody? Episode 21 of the Fresh Life Podcast. This is Chris Marvell.
And I'm Jasmine Marie.
And we are so excited
Yes,
once again to just be sitting here. First off, shout out to all of you who have subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Thank you.
We thank y'all so much for everyone who has subscribed. It is crazy. Even right now, we're so happy for all the people who subscribe to the audio podcast as well. Because again, you guys were the first ones at the, just to support us, to say, listen, man, y'all keep on going. So we're here. We're happy to be here, and we have something special to announce.
Yes, we have something so special to announce. I think this is by far going to be my favorite episode because I'm releasing a little baby, I feel like, to the world.
This is pretty sweet.
Yes. Well, this is our first joint product together, and it is the
It is the Fresh Life Productivity Journal.
Yes, the Fresh Life Productivity Journal.
This baby is nice. It has the ring binding, the leather surface on the cover and the back. It's sweet. You take a look on the inside, you can actually see this. I'm gonna put one up, close for those who are watching this on camera. You can actually see what's inside this journal.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that we were meticulous over what went into this journal.
Yes, we were.
Jasmine, you want to talk a little bit about kind of how this whole thing kind of came about?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the Fresh Life Journal is something that me and Chris honestly have been doing for years, just verbally to each other. And you guys heard me tell this story before about the wins for the day, the hard things, and how we would just kind of say that to each other just to set the tone for our day. So that has never stopped. And we started to kind of just talk about it on the podcast. We started to post it on Instagram and Facebook. And we just got great feedback. Like, people really loved the idea. They loved the idea of the podcast. And we had knew that it was journal material. But we were just so happy that so many people agreed and were excited about it. And were figuring out their wins. And were just doing the hard things for the day. And we were just super pumped about it. So it kind of just made us even more, give us the affirmation we needed to be like, okay, yes, we're on the right track with this journal. So we probably started this project a couple months ago.
I would agree.
And we got the design done. We got the design laid out, and then we got the cover created, and it's here. It is here, and we're super excited about it because we know it's going to be a tool that's really going to change your life.
So it's pretty sweet. You can actually go to thefreshlifebrand.com and you can pre-order your copy right now. But the thing is about this journal, aside from it being, a sales thing, this is more than that. This is a way for you to change how you live your life.
Yeah.
This is something that, we, like Jasmine said, we live by, whether it's wins for the day. Why does that matter, Chris? It matters because if you get up in your day, and how many of you have realized that by 1 o'clock, you have no clue what there is to do with your day?
Yeah.
There's, it's 7 o'clock and you look back on your day like, what was this day even about?
Right. Or it just wasn't prioritized correctly. You do have a litany things to do, but it's like, okay, what did I get done? What did I actually accomplish? What did I make the most important thing, and did I do that thing?
And so it's an intentional journal. It is for people who, we said earlier this year that our word was being intentional this year.
Yes.
And that energy that we started this year with it's continued with us. We've been intentional about every little step that we've taken.
Yeah.
And this journal allows you to be intentional. It allows you to say, I'm not just going to let my day take hold of me.
Right.
I'm going to take hold of my day.
Right.
So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that we all should do, whether you've ever even heard of this journal, is to be what?
Grateful. Yes, absolutely. It's to be grateful. Before we get into the Thibodeau journal, I'm just really proud that we had an idea, or that's something that really just helped us for so long, right? Kind of set the tone for our day, and we decided to put it on paper, legit put it on paper, and that is helping other people. And I'm just really excited for y'all to use the journal. We've already passed it out to really our immediate family, brother, sister, and they love it. They've been using it. They screenshot and send us pictures. It just really helps you to, like Chris said, set the tone for your day. It helps you to lower your stress and your anxiety, the things that I deal with, that we talked about on mental health, our mental health episodes. But it's just a really, really dope journal, and I just really can't wait to get y'all's feedback.
Let me also say real quick, while I have the opportunity and with you in front of me, audience, that I am so proud of my wife. And I want to just tell you this, like, personally, is that I've never even said this. Jasmine has this creative baby inside of her. And for so long, she's, wanted to birth it and push it out. And when I tell you that she is the creative genius behind this journal, she is the one who fought for the words that are laid out in detail in this journal. I mean, she would replace words that she didn't think would impact you. She would change around a whole format that she didn't think would fit for your hand. I mean, she put the detail and the love into this thing, and what I see is somebody who has birthed a creative baby. And I just want to tell you that I'm just so proud of you for fighting through those tough moments, even the tough moments with me, where I was giving you a hard time, over some of the details, because that's not how my mind works. But I am so appreciative to have a wife, to have a best friend who thinks through the details. So I wanted to tell you that I am just proud of you. I'm proud of the woman that you've become, and creating something that is going to be used by the millions around the world.
Amen.
That your hand will bless other people.
Thank you.
I just want to say that I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. And thank you for pushing me, because I needed you. Like, I was fearful, right? I was like, I wanted to do something like this for so long. I've always wanted to create a journal. But my husband has already written a book. He's already kind of done all of this, and so even though I walked that journey with him, this was different.
Yeah.
And just thank you for pushing me and believing in me, and that's awesome. So thank you.
I got your back.
I know you do. So yes, y'all, I did. It was we did. So all my journalers out there, I fought for these ring binders, right? Because y'all know how important it is to be able to go like this.
To actually turn the book, and lay it flat on the table.
Still have a hard surface to write on, right? And it was really hard because we got them shipped, and the shipping, they were really nervous that they were going to get messed up, and even the printer was like, I really advise you just to do a hard bound. And I was like, no, like, I can't do hard bound, and it was more expensive to get them printed in the gold and everything. But I was like, no, this is really what makes a good journaling experience, and so I really hope y'all enjoy it.
Oh yeah. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of just go through, and we're going to touch on this, and
let's do it.
We're going to have of course a longer expose of these topics in the future, so that we can go through them, and I'm just really excited about just what's laid out in this journal. And if you see here, we have you start your day with, what am I grateful for?
Yes.
One of the ways that I usually show a lot of my gratitude is before I go to bed. It's a time period where the entire house is quiet. I walk around the house and I just put my hands on my family. Whether I'm praying for them or whether I'm just looking at them. I'm looking onto them. I do it a lot with my sons. Because this world is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we look at, a guy that, we've all, celebrated this past, 2 weeks in Nipsey Hussle. And, at the end of the day, he was a grown man, but he was somebody's son.
Right.
And you can't ever take that for granted.
Right.
At the end of the day, there's no guarantee that, things may happen. So I don't take it for granted. So after I touch my sons, I tell my wife this all the time, that, did you know that I was rubbing your face last night?
Yeah.
Did you know that? And she never does.
Right.
But I'm always in a place of gratitude because I know that none of this is guaranteed.
Yeah.
So in the morning, I've transitioned that into, writing that down in this position of what I'm grateful for.
Right. Right, that's dope. So you experienced that the night before. That's when you really go through your gratitude practice. But in the morning, it just helps you to recap it.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
So same with Chris. I just do the same thing. Just what am I grateful for? And I try to just think about even like the little details and be truly in the moment. So if I'm just drinking coffee or if I'm looking out the window, like, what am I grateful for in this moment to help me to be present? But we also, like, we write about it in the beginning of the journal. You'll have an explanation for each section. And one of the things we say about I'm grateful for part is you can't live in two states of being. You can't be pleasant and miserable at the same time. You can't have a pleasant state of mind and a misery state of mind at the same time. So that's what gratitude helps you to do. So whenever you're like feeling, and this is I almost fell. This is a tactic that you can use whenever. is being very mindful. Like if you're in a bad mood, if you're in a misery state of mind, if you're down, depressed, if you have an attitude, if you are feeling frustrated. So yes, starting each day out in gratitude. And I do the same thing. I try to in the morning, I try to be intentional of really feeling that space of gratitude, what I'm grateful for, and really being present. So it helps me to be present. So whatever I'm doing, if I'm drinking coffee, am I looking out the window, I'm grateful for the fresh air, I'm grateful for the sunshine, I'm grateful for this warm coffee. Whatever I'm doing, I try to be grateful for that present moment. And then I think about other things that I'm grateful for, my children and my husband, or something kind that he did or said, just examples. So, but what I want you guys to focus on when you're filling out your journal is to really identify that feeling and feel that emotion. Because once you feel that emotion, you're more likely to keep manifesting it into your day. So, and that's how gratitude works. Once you are in a state of gratitude, you will begin to start looking for things to be grateful for throughout the day, and you will start noticing them and being mindful of them, which will lead to having a better day, a happier day.
I completely 100% agree. Like gratitude just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It reminds you that whatever because a lot of times we're tripping on stuff.
Exactly.
We're thinking that, we're operating out of a sense of scarcity. And when you're operating out of that frame, you're thinking that I don't have enough of. And it could be money, it could be, love, it could be opportunities. But, when you truly look at it, you don't always say, our parents used to always say when we used to waste food, there's some starving kids in Africa. And it's like, you ain't got to go down to that level,
Right.
because you don't want to compare your abundance with someone else's pain to understand and appreciate what you're going through. But at the same time, someone is a little bit, somebody wishes they had the opportunity that you have.
Yeah.
Right now we're recording on, an expensive camera, and we could easily say, oh, I wish we had the more expensive camera.
Absolutely.
But there's,
or the one that has sound, a microphone.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, like, somebody could easily just be like, I wish I had this, but at the end of the day, like, you have something that a person in high school who wants to do their own, vlog on YouTube, they wish they had your camera.
Exactly.
They wish they had all the technology and the Mac computer. Like, they wish they had that. So be grateful for where you are.
Yeah.
And the one way of staying grateful is by giving back.
That's so true. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I would just say, one way, if you think about it, like, if you are in this place of being grateful, and you're understanding of what you do have, then take the next initiative and give back. Give to someone who can't get what you have. When maybe it's money. Maybe you have a couple extra dollars that you can give somebody.
Or your time.
Or your time, and you're grateful for the abundance of those things.
Absolutely.
Give some away, and it truly repays you back like 10 times over.
Yeah, and it's a saying that says, if it was a whole bunch of people's problems in a pile, you'll be begging for yours back. So if everybody throw their problems in a pile, and you randomly get to select other people's problems, you will be begging for yours back. So
I'm in there with your hand.
Right, exactly. No, give me back my problems, because I don't want them problems.
Like
Please
the claw,
give me back my
like
problems.
the claw in the vending machine.
Right,
I'm
okay, give me back my problems. So just be grateful and operate out of a state of gratitude.
Yeah, big time.
The next part is wins for the day. Y'all have heard us talk about this. We've already done 1 or 2 podcasts on wins for the day. So y'all know what it is already. Set the tone for your day. What are the things that you absolutely want to accomplish that makes you feel that makes you feel accomplished or productive? And I love this because it's not always about, like, yes, we all have these big dreams and goals, like, especially like corporately or in our careers, but it's also like, what type of human being do you want to be? What type of parent do you want to be? What type of spouse? What type of mom? What type of friend do you want? What type of food do you want to eat? What
Big
type
time.
of where do you want to live? What are your hobbies? What are things that bring you joy? And so what are my wins for the day? I want to go paint today. Today I want to express my creativity. That's a win for the day. So it's also about living out the highest version of yourself. So yes, your wins for the day, absolutely make them career oriented if you choose. But some days, make them about, like, what brings me joy? What makes me happy? What's the best version of myself? And that's going to be the win for my day.
When I think about wins for the day, it's, like you said, it's a variety of things.
It can be, yeah.
But then it's also the fact that sometimes we look at, like, the word win. We look at how does it look to win, the day. And we look at it like, if you look at it in sports, if you win by 1 point, you won the championship.
Yes.
Like, if you
Yes.
won because you had the ball 1 second longer than the other person, you won the game. So your wins don't always have to look like blowouts.
Yes. Oh,
Your
that's so good.
your day doesn't have your day can be comprised of, I had 5 more minutes to myself than I had yesterday, or I was able to spend 10 more minutes with my son than I did the previous day. It could be, and to you that may not seem like a win, but to him it seems like the world.
Right.
And so you have to really be intentional about what does a win look like. So that way you
Exactly.
can have the right frame when you really get a big win.
Right.
And you're not reducing it to, oh, that's just life. No,
Right.
like this thing ain't guaranteed. These
thing is not
wins
guaranteed.
are not guaranteed,
Yeah,
man.
so true. So true. And there's a lot of there's like 4 lines in a journal for your wins. If you take up one line, that's enough.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to fill in every
No.
single line. If you have more of a busy day and you want to include things you got to get done at the office or whatever, include those things. But if not, if you have one win, if your one win is to take my son to the park, that's your win for the day, and write that one win down.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. So, next when we talk about today, I will take care of myself
Yes,
by.
yes, yes,
That's the third section in the Fresh Life Productivity Journal is
Mm-hmm.
today I will take care of myself by. Every time I look at this, I always think every time I think about take care of myself, how I would do this today, I think about taking a bath. I have no clue why. It's the only thing that comes to mind.
That's good though.
It's crazy.
But do you want to take more baths?
But the thing is, I don't take baths.
I know, but do you desire to?
Do I see the
Or do
thing
you
about
think that's just
baths?
like the self-care thing
So
to do?
here's my thing about baths.
What's your thing about a bath?
My thing about baths is it feels like you're swimming in your own dirt.
Is that before or after the wash up?
I'm just saying it's just really weird to be sitting there and dirt is swirling around you. That's how I feel.
Well, may I provide a little insight?
Please.
I think I feel you if you like to stay in the bath after the wash up.
No, I do think it's at some point in time to get out.
Especially I think what you do is you enjoy the water in the bath 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wash up and get out.
And I'm 6'2". So the
Yeah.
bath is a little awkward.
Yeah, no,
I don't
see
live
you
in a
the bath.
mansion.
I've seen you in the
Yeah,
bath.
I'm one leg out. Like I got a whole leg that's cold in the bathtub.
Yeah. It's not easy for you.
So it's
and,
a little tough.
and don't want to soak like your shoulders and your neck.
No.
You are very awkward.
So here's the thing about soaking the shoulders and neck. Either my kneecap's gonna be cold because my whole my whole chest is underwater, or my whole belly button gonna be out because my legs under the water. One of the two
Yeah.
is gonna be exposed.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So-
yeah, it's no getting around
So
it for you.
So for me, I have to change what I look like when I say today I'll take care of myself.
Yeah, that's funny. But
yeah.
that is like a quintessential take care of yourself. Take a bath, light some
It
candles.
is.
I think you hear ladies say that all the time too.
So when I think of it, I think of what is something that is going to pour back into myself.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's what it's all about. How am I going to refill my cup?
Yeah, that's how I think
Yes,
about it.
and even if that is like how I mentioned about painting for my win for the day, that could be how I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of myself by doing something that I love to do. It's a hobby of mine, and that refuels me, that recharges me, that gives me energy. Yeah.
But I would also say, I don't think it's about other people. The phrase is today I will take care of myself.
Exactly.
And we're oftentimes not selfish enough, especially for those who have families. We're not selfish enough when it comes to our time.
Right.
And rightfully so. You're a giver. All of us are givers, especially when you have families, man, or husbands and stuff like that, and wives. But today I will take care of myself. How will you allocate 20 to 30 minutes to yourself?
Right.
And even if it's not a clear space, how will you find and create space?
Right.
Because that's important too. You got to get creative. Maybe you got to get up earlier.
That's
Jazz
so
is
true.
notorious for getting up early because her self-care starts with her own quality time.
Yes.
Mine is in the evening where I know that I may pay for it tomorrow morning, but in the evening I know that I got this block of time that's going to be super quiet in the house,
Yeah.
and that's my time to think and
Yeah.
be creative, and just to pour back into myself.
Right.
But you have to do that, or
Right.
you will operate on. Stephen Covey says that you have to sharpen the saw. That a
Right.
dull knife, a dull saw does not
Right.
cut anything.
Right.
And so, are you becoming a dull saw?
Right.
are you trying to chop down everything and you're wondering why it's taking you more effort than it took you last year?
Exactly. And I love that example. He talks about the person just whacking away, trying to chop this log, and a neighbor comes by and says, "Why don't you go sharpen it? You can't, it's not cutting anymore." And he responds by saying, "I don't have time." And I think that's what we all do. We always put ourselves on the back burner, and we can't really give all of our energy to that one thing that we need to give it to, because we're depleted. We're completely depleted, and we're tired, we're frustrated, we're overwhelmed. We haven't done anything for ourselves, and so how can we be the best version of ourselves if we're not taking care of ourselves?
Big
So
facts.
this section, we talk about don't betray yourself, and we talk about don't break promises to yourself. So write down what you say you're going to do and do it. Don't break a promise to yourself.
Big facts.
The next section is before I go to bed, I will.
So, why is this important, guys?
This is important because so often we get only the big emphasis on the importance of a morning routine. It's so important to have a morning routine. And I firmly believe in a morning routine. I mean, I live by one. But if you don't have a bedtime routine or a nighttime routine, your morning routine can be completely hijacked.
Agreed.
So this is just talking about exactly that. What do you need to do the night before that sets you up for a win tomorrow? So our bedtime routine just gets us ready for our morning routine. Baths at night, lay out the kids' clothes at night. Some of y'all even iron at night. Some of my great Pinterest moms even pack lunches at night. Whatever you have to do though, so that you guys have a successful morning, do it the night before. For me, and I write this in the journal, waking up to a dirty kitchen will blow my morning. I don't like it. I don't like waking up to yesterday's mess.
So she tells me to do it.
So my husband tries to help me out in that area. but just clean the kitchen up the night before, or at least load the dishwasher, whatever I need to do. So when at least I come down in the morning to make coffee or turn on the Keurig, I'm have a certain level of peace. And you don't have to wake up to tomorrow's issues.
So yeah, I would say this, before you go to bed, it gives you a running start. It allows you to wake up with already some things in place, so you're not just starting from scratch. I mean, it's already hard enough to start groggy,
Right.
or tired, or maybe you're running late. This is a really big factor when you're running late, because man, you already got stuff laid out.
Right.
All you gotta do is brush your teeth, throw some water on your face.
Right.
I mean, you can head out the door. So when you have these things written down and you're reminding yourself, ooh, my gym bag, I need to, put this in my gym bag, or, before I go to bed, I will set the coffee timer, because you're being intentional about your time before you go to bed.
Yep, absolutely. So the next section is the hard things I will do today. So you guys are not new to this. You guys heard us talk about this several times. I think our very first podcast was We Do the Hard Things. So as you know, it is I just feel like I just need to spit over a little bit.
No, it's okay. You want to get closer to me?
I do, in heart and soul, but not right now.
Understood. All right. So the hard things.
Yeah. So our very first podcast was We Do the Hard Things. We have it written in our kitchen. It's in our office. We talk about it all the time. And this is the thing that the Fresh Life is really all about. So we do the hard things. We do the things that we don't necessarily want to do, so we can have the things that we want, and so that we can be the best version of ourselves.
The hard things is the bedrock of, of this whole, the whole vibe. Yeah. It's how we really came to an agreement that this was something that we needed to do, because doing the hard things is what separates the good from the great.
Absolutely.
And not just, the good from the great and something like I want to be some type of celebrity. No, but the good from the great fathers.
Yes.
The good from the great brothers and sisters. Yes. And parents or coworkers. Like, it's doing the hard things. Like, I'll tell you this. How many times have you been, in a work situation and there's a piece of paper on the floor, and 9 out of 10 people are going to walk by it. Mm-hmm. But every single time you get an opportunity, you pick it up. Mm-hmm. Now, review time comes around, and you didn't know that your boss had caught you 3 or 4 times being the person that did it.
Right.
That shows a set of leadership skills. Right. You did the hard things. Right. You did what mattered. Maybe it's coming home after a 10-hour day of work, and you get an opportunity to go outside and play with your son. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do it for 5 hours. Right. But in that 30 minutes, you're 30 minutes spending time with him over the course of 5 or 6 years. I mean, talking hundreds of hours. Next thing you know, you kept him away from a bad group of kids because he wasn't bored.
Absolutely.
That's doing the hard things.
That's so true. So the hard things can be definitely relational, like Chris said, being a better father, being a better sister, being a better mother, whatever your desires are in those type of relationships. But the hard things can also be, you know what? I want to lose weight. I want to eat healthy. It doesn't even have to be about weight. I just want to have a clear brain. I don't want to have foggy brain. I want to have good energy. I need to feed my body nutritious foods and beverages, right?
Okay.
And so that's doing the hard things. I want to exercise. I don't only want to exercise so I can look so tight and fit and together this summer, but I want to also exercise so I can be in a good mood, because I know that exercising releases endorphins. It makes me be more productive. It puts me, it lifts my spirits. So those are the hard things that I really don't feel like doing, but I need to do to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts. So what we have next?
All right, next is the brain drain.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, we've been doing brain drains for years. Before we even got married, I remember like getting ready for the wedding and planning, and so much going on. Like, okay, just do a brain drain. Like, you feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
I should have printed off one of the larger brain drains I've ever done. First off, what is a brain drain?
Right.
A brain drain is when have you ever just been in a place where just mentally you got a million ideas bouncing from corner to corner of your mind and you can't grab one? Like, and it's like that moment you're like, okay, I know I need to go do this, but I also need to do that, and I need to call my mom, and I forgot what I need to do then.
Right.
That's because you got too much going on.
Right. And those feelings, those feelings cause you to have anxiety, feel overwhelmed, feel super stressed. When you keep so much in your brain of what you have to do or what you have to accomplish, and you're trying to keep all that up here, you naturally just get overwhelmed and stressed. So a brain drain.
I look at a brain drain as, on a computer, a messy desktop. It's like having everything all over the desktop and you can't see anything.
Yeah.
So what you got to do
so
is...
true. And I'm the girl who saves everything to the desktop.
Right.
It is. It's like, yeah.
So cognitively, that becomes a scattered place. So what I like to do is, what we like to do, and it's something that was a big alleviator for me, was I just grab my phone and I type out everything in my mind.
Yes.
It could be stupid, like, wipe down the trash can when you get home, because it's something that's on my mind.
Right.
But because another thought gets in the way, I forget to wipe down the trash can.
Right.
And now I'm frustrated 2 days later when I look at it, like, oh my gosh, I didn't wipe down the trash can. Write down everything.
Yeah.
And now you're empty. So now that you're empty, you can look at the list and attack it and prioritize it.
Yes.
And now you have clarity.
Look at my husband with that ADHD brain.
You like that?
Prioritizing and making lists. See, that's a skill though. And that's something that you use. That's a real tool, a real skill that helps him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes, it's important to recognize your limitations. And when you can do that, you can then put structure into place to help you. Do I use it enough? No, but through this journal, it's a daily thing for me, So now what allows me to have super accountability is to go back the day before or 2 days before, see what I didn't do. What didn't I get done? Why didn't I get it done? And I can begin to strategize. I can, analyze what's getting in my way on a consistent basis every time this comes up. Every time that, it's time for me to do this, this always becomes a thing that gets in the way. Now I can be more productive and more efficient in my lifestyle.
I love you.
Yeah?
Yes, I do. It's just so dope when you watch somebody grow. Like, you've grown so much.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah. Okay. So then the last but not least, and what makes us a journal and not a planner. Well, we do a lot of writing even in the prompts. We prompt you, right? But it's about being productive. But it's also, we give you a whole page of just how are you feeling? Because it is so important to tap into what you're feeling in the morning and how you can improve your mood. And if you can improve your mood, you're more likely to have a more productive and a more focused day.
Big facts.
So we just want you to write about how you're feeling. And like Chris just said, knowing your limitations, because that's big for me. My morning mood is everything. And if I wake up...
It's everything to me.
It's everything to everyone that lives in this house.
Everyone.
My morning mood. So I'm responsible for that though, right?
Our boat sinks based on Jasmine's morning mood.
Dang.
Or it rises.
Okay. Well, that's just big facts. And I own that.
But let me tell you something. Mine does too.
Yes. Everyone, yes.
Yeah.
Caleb's mood in the morning. Shoot, he the main one that need to be.
Yeah, he need a journal.
Figuring out how he gonna invigorate himself.
You better get your kids a journal.
Yeah, Caleb needs to really for real.
Like
that
for real.
mood in the morning, I be having to tell him. I be trying to tell him about his mindset.
Can I tell you something? We have not thought of that. Our kids need to have a journal, and we should, especially kids like Caleb's age, and we can talk to them at night and say, "What's the hard thing that you?" And maybe it's one thing.
Yeah.
What's the hard thing you're gonna do tomorrow, son?
We could create the Fresh Life Kid Journal, Chris. And you know what else I'm just thinking? We can have like little, they can like, at the doctor's office, like circle your smiley face so they can help identify how they feel it.
If you want to partner with us and invest,
who want to invest in their kids?
Please hit us up at the email address here listed at the bottom. You want to partner? This is about to be, that's a crazy idea.
Okay, we're going to do it.
Because it's therapy for your children.
It is. And Caleb, we were just joking, but his mood in the morning, like if you don't have the right Nike jogging outfit, mind you, I just said Nike jogging
big facts
outfit. They have to be all of those things, okay? If you don't have that for him, he is not happy in the morning.
No, he is.
Don't talk about I got the pants, but I don't have the matching shirt.
He's a male diva.
And it has to be like, he doesn't like jeans. It has to be like athletic wear.
No, he got dope. Listen, none of this is important.
He has great clothes.
It's crazy.
Chris wants his closet.
I want Caleb's closet. His closet better than mine.
So anyways. That's the mood we deal with in the morning.
But let us say this. This journal is revolutionary. You can go to Barnes & Noble and I promise you that you're going to find a bunch of thick leather, expensive, Game of Thrones looking journals all over the place.
That's my show.
And you're going to find these journals all over the place. They're going to be 60, 70, 80 bucks. And they're not going to do anything for you but give you some thick, bold lines. This journal is where your life will be changed. This is where you want to invest in yourself and you want to pour back into you. For the cost of you going to a movie, you're going to get a journal.
Yes.
For, 75% less than going to a therapist, you're going to be able to be doing therapy on your own.
Yes.
Invest in yourself.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to love the journal. It's going to help you set the tone for your day. Make sure your day doesn't get hijacked. Do the things that you really want to do. Concretize what it is that you want to be productive in, what you want to be known for. Let's stop always thinking about our resume, and let's also think about our eulogy. What type of person will we be known for? What do we want to accomplish in our life? What type of human being do we want to be? What type of relationships do we want to have? And making sure that we write them down, that we accomplish them every day. So you're going to love the journal. It's not only about being productive, but it's about self-care. It's about eliminating stress and anxiety. It's about identifying how you feel in the morning and what can you do to feel more invigorated so that you will have a good, productive day.
Big facts. So listen, I'm Chris Marvell.
And I'm Jasmine Marie.
And we invite you again to subscribe to our channel if you have not yet. And make sure that you continue to follow all the great and amazing things that we are bringing to you because we love you.